All right, I finished my reread of Memories of Ice. Even better the second time. All these books have been better the second time. Doesn't mean you have to read all 10 of them before you're going to enjoy them. Like Memories of Ice would have been a 6 out of 5 stars if that was a thing. The second time through would be like an 8. Like it just gets better and better and better. The characters, once you kind of know them a little bit more, since there are a lot of them, they pop off the page more. The the payoff and the foreshadowing that happens in this book and how it carries on not only on Genebacchus with like Toll the Hounds, but how things weave in from Midnight Tides and how things are happening on Seven Cities. Like I just am so continually blown away by this series and obviously this book. I'm so excited to get to House of Chains. My favorite parts in this book, probably the very very pinnacle for me would be chapter 17 area. Speaking about Capistan, this will be non spoiler. I do love the ending of this book. I like the ending of some other of the Malazan books more. Like I think I like Deadhouse Gates that ending a little bit more than this one, even though this one comes very close, and maybe on another subsequent reread, which will certainly happen. Maybe I would switch that out, but subbook 1, 2, and 3 is just about the best in Memories of Ice, and I just am so pleased that I chose to endeavor in this series and pick it up. Like I just it was almost 2 years ago now, I suppose, or a year and a half when I started. Uh, yeah, about 2 years ago. I think in February when I started the first two, and I thought this is just incredible, and kept going on the third one, and I was just blown away. If you haven't read Malazan, I really think you should. Not only is the plot really really interesting, but the writing, uh, there's just something that you can really get out of some of the ideas that come out. I really like Steven Erickson's sensibility with things. I get the idea that maybe we wouldn't agree on some conclusions for a lot of things, but man, he sure makes you think and consider different uh, ways of viewing things. One of the greatest things about this book, Memories of Ice, is just it, it's it's you see some of the worst of humanity. You know, obviously we have these gods, gods little g, sort of like that word has been kind of hijacked, but gods little g in that they've been like ascended. And then you have the mortals, and it's kind of like a letter of, the range. You have the worst of the worst, but you also have some very very glowing examples of some of the best that humanity can, it offers an ideal for us, I think, and I really really think it's just a wonderful book. And I'm so excited to get to House of Chains. We obviously we start with the person who is, not even morally gray. He's just dark. And and you see some of his kind of story as things goes on, and I'm very excited to get back to that. I'm excited to get back to Seven Cities. I'm excited to get um to these the bridge burners that are over there, or I guess you wouldn't call them, anyway, whatever. All the other people that are over there. I'm really excited to get back to Fiddler, back to Kalam, back to getting more Tavor. Uh, yeah, yeah, really, really excited. This is the one with Bidithal and all that stuff. Excited to get back to Felicin and more of her journey. Leoman of the Flails, or whatever. When does Traveler come into the picture? Is that just in? Does he come into the picture in House of Chains? I can't remember. Maybe it's just in Toll the Hounds. Can't remember when he gets part of things. Anyway, I want to look forward. So what should my plan be going forward? And this is an honest question, and I don't want you to, you can just say do whatever you want to do, but like I'm asking you what you think I should do. I mean, obviously most people here will say continue with Malazan or whatever. So here is what we can do. Obviously, I'm still doing the Three Musketeers at night as just a personal read. I really love it. Like, these books don't get dated to me. Some of them do, but some of them really do still offer something great. And the Three Musketeers is just one of my favorites. Obviously, we can keep going right into House of Chains, and I'd be happy to do that. So excited to do that, actually. I want to throw in Knight of Knives. Like I really want to get to Midnight Tides, and then I think after that, either after House of Chains or after Midnight Tides, I'd like to go back to Knight of Knives, reread that. Not sure when I'll stick in Return of the Crimson Guard, if that will be after the Bone Hunters or after Reaper's Gale. I'll have to go back to these charts that, get posted. But that's an option, obviously, and I'd be super happy to do that. I do need to fit in book 2 of Guards, the City Watch group. Man, I love those guys. I am so pleased at having found that little arc of characters, because I wasn't super enamored with Discworld with Mort. And I will say this, Hood from Malazan is so much better in every way than Mort, in my opinion. Anyway, other things that we could do. I know I do these deep videos sometimes, not always, but some of these chapter kind of discussion videos, even scene discussion videos. If it's time to start the Book of the New Sun, Shadow of the Torturer, we can do that. If it calls for it and there would be interest in that. I've never read it. I know, I've just been putting it off because I know it's something that, I would probably sink my teeth into. If it's time to do that, let me know if you'd like that. I'm thinking at some point I need to throw in more Kingsbridge. We have the 4 books. This is actually 5 books, because this is the prequel to The Pillars of the Earth. This is a Norse prequel, which I am very excited to get to that if there's any interest in that. Maybe not for the channel, I suppose, since it doesn't seem like people are reading that series who comment. But I think people should. I think people should definitely read The Pillars of the Earth, and I'd be happy to go to that. I'm going to throw in the Crusades because I like history, and I'm throwing that in. If there'd be any interest in that, like a history sort of thing. Like, I love talking history, and if there was a specific timeline, the Crusades are kind of my blind spot a little bit. I know some of it. I don't know if it would be too politically charged with some things that would be, whatever. I just want to throw that in because, mostly I love reading about Rome and stuff like that, but whatever. I do need to continue on with Disquiet Gods. I don't know, I'll probably do my review at the end, but again, there's not a lot of discussion on those videos when I post about them, even though I think people should read it. I want to do a reread of the Illiad so I can also get to Odyssey. If there would be any interest in that, in doing deep dives, I would be happy to do that and have people on if there were people that, knew about it. Also things like the 12 Caesars I need to do. But anyway, getting back to some fiction, I do want to finish Disquiet Gods because it's the penultimate book, I believe, in the series. And then once that is done, I want to get back to Red Rising and maybe continue on because I hear some good things about the next era or whatever. I would like to get back into the world of the First Law. So I do think it's time pretty soon to get to Best Served Cold. That will be on my radar. And I do need to finish Philip Chase's trilogy. I only have the first two physical. I have the other one digital, and I would like to do that not only because I really like Philip, and but it's a good story, and I'd like to finish it because I also want to throw in some self-published books through the year, and maybe even have a month where I only read things from authors that I haven't read, which is not hard to do, but also maybe throw in some of these, try to find things that aren't as out there, as well known, I guess is the better way of saying that. So anyway, what do you think? I have all of these. I would be happy to go to all of them. I think I'm going to get through all of these, on the way to summer. But if there's certain things that you would like for content that you would be interested in, like I don't want to give you, I post a lot of things at times, like it's in bursts, but I don't want to give you stuff that you're not interested in. Like if you're more interested in more of these chapter dives, like I haven't even done Wheel of Time. If you'd like me to experience that for the first time, we could do that. Same with like Lycanius Trilogy and some other things. I'd be happy to do that. If you want to do some buddy reads, I still have classics obviously going that I'd love to share with people, but maybe there won't be as much interest on the channel for that. But anyway, those are what are on my TBR. I do have some others up there. Like I have done one of the Dresden files, and I found it kind of fun. I might throw some of those into some in-between kind of books. I have things like Confederacy of Dunces, like I'd like to throw that in. And that's not fantasy though, but there's some great novels out there, and I'm hoping that this year I can get through some of my current TBR. I'm trying not to add too much to my TBR and get rid of some of the current ones that I already have on there. So anyway, also for people who liked Kingsbridge, I do need to get into the Century Trilogy, which is more of a World War historical nonfiction for people who would be interested in that. So, probably just going to be reading it for myself and probably won't find much interest on, like with my channel's mostly Malazan stuff. So let me know, because I do want to give content to you guys that you would be interested in. Like I'm not even really interested in growing the channel or monetizing it, like at all. But I do like speaking to, I do like the engagement with, even if it's like 5 people, I do like engaging with these stories with you guys. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.